Okay, and we are back, and welcome to another episode of Raudeza Plays. I'm Raudeza, and of course, we're continuing on with Halo 5 Guardians. This is part 2. As I mentioned before, I wanted to go back and play this game, or not really go back because I'm playing it for the first time, but I definitely wanted to cover this in the channel for the reasons that I already explained. It's been amazing so far. I have to say I'm very impressed with this game, and I have to keep reminding myself that this game is 11 years old, and I'm kicking myself in the ass. I actually didn't play it 11 years ago. I'm not going to do as much commentary on this video because I want the footage to speak for itself, and I really want you to enjoy this. So I will be intermitting certain commentary just when I see things that are pretty cool or things that stood out to me about these particular levels. So enjoy the footage, guys, and I will see you in a bit.
Insertion pods incoming.
Push through, Osiris.
One thing I will say about Guardians is that this game is no joke. The AI is pretty incredible, and these turrets are basically death sentences because the minute that you get in them, as you can see, every single one of these freaking Covenant soldiers just bombard you with shots. It's pretty freaking incredible.
We just lost Bayer.
Son of a more pod! Arbiter's trapped inside. We should hurry.
Marquis, we've reached the council chambers.
Understood. On my way. Kaidon! Soru! Keisuta!
Push forward, Osiris.
He's not here!
Up the stairs.
Okay, if you've been a Halo fan forever, any opportunity you get to get this laser sword and just to house enemies with it is like always a good thing. This is a freaking powerful weapon, and it really gets into the melee combat of this, which is really cool. It's very visceral and weighty, and look, I know I don't like to hurt these grunts, but they were a real pain in the ass in this level, so I just decided to house them any way that I could with this laser sword because it was really cool. And one of the things that I love about this is the Arbiter. The Arbiter is so iconic. Keith David is, you know, he plays a lot of roles. His voice is just iconic with Spawn and various other sci-fi masterpieces like They Live. The guy's amazing, right? But in this particular one, he is the perfect voice for the Arbiter. It's absolutely outstanding. Freaking love this guy. And when I heard him again for the first time, it's Keith David. He's undeniable, right? His voice is very distinctive. Just seeing him in these cutscenes is really freaking awesome. And I really like this particular moment when he says, "Oh yeah, you're hunting one of your own now." And you see the look on John Locke's face. I mean, it's freaking awesome. This is just a really cool cutscene.
Oni, out of the shadows. The spies announce themselves now, Agent Locke.
I'm a Spartan now, sir.
I know who you are. You were an agent when you volunteered to execute me.
I forgot because it was such a long time ago, but they have history. Like, unfinished
Yet
history,
now
right?
you hunt another Spartan, the greatest of your clan.
Let him hunt.
Oh, that's Cortana protecting her man. She's not gonna let anybody get next to John. John Spartan 117. She's just not gonna do it. Halsey has a very vested interest. I think she mentions at one point that part of her consciousness is in the AI or written in the code of the AI for Cortana. So I think that's one of the reasons that she's a little bit freaked out.
Only when victory is assured.
Doctor, Osiris will deploy within the hour. Have your plan ready. Guns down, Osiris. We're guests here.
I can't really remember what planet
I have
we're
a
on,
briefing
but I just
prepared.
remember
Given
how
Cortana's show of
beautiful
power, I am
these
reluctant to discuss
kind of
it
like
over
sand
open channels.
desert areas really look.
Understood.
Again, I've
We're on our
commented
way.
about this before, about the flora and the fauna, but most importantly, it's just the vistas. The sense of scale here is just absolutely stunning. You look, and I kind of pan around here just to kind of like show you how much detail and art design in terms of level design was done here. And it's absolutely, like I said, beautiful. The cool thing is that even 11 years later, this still stands up. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, of course, this game looks better than most AAA titles today. I mean, hands down. When I'm constantly in awe of this and how beautiful this looks. It's amazing to me. And again, this goes to another component of where the industry is. They have these massive bloated budgets, and they still can't produce something as with so much quality as this game, and which is a real shame. I mean, the gaming industry is kind of imploding itself for some of the reasons that I talked about in part 1. It's kind of funny, this is the first time in Halo history for me that I heard grunts talking, and they weren't running in fear calling me a demon, and I didn't have to like kill them or take them out, which was really funny to me. You know, they're so funny, their little voices, and I hate having to
Osiris
hurt
reporting
them
in, Dr.
sometimes,
Halsey.
occasionally, sometimes.
This is a constructor, a Forerunner tool I can use to interface with the Guardian. Constructors were ubiquitous in Forerunner facilities. These hills are riddled with support stations for the Sanghelios Guardian. Palmer has the coordinates of one such station. Finding a constructor there should be simple.
Ready when you are, Osiris.
We're ready, Commander Palmer.
Okay, let's go. Osiris, Halsey's constructor is in a Forerunner facility north of here, but the Coveys have a Kraken parked between you and it. Arbiter's people are set to hit the Kraken from the air while you handle ground support. Once you've reached the rally point, Arbiter will give the green light.
Understood, Commander.
Patching you into Arbiter's battle net now. Good luck out there, Spartans.
Sword of St. Helios, visual on Kraken, stand by. All wings report. Attack wing Centaur in position. Attack wing Lar in position. Attack wing Jardal in position. All wings hold here until...
And this is one of the moments that I was kind of talking about. Just look at how lush and beautiful the level design is here. I had to remark on this waterfall, because in the midst of all this chaos in combat, they have these little beautiful moments, these like brooks amongst the like shale rock, which looks really outstanding. This is just a beautiful level to look at. And just as quickly, we're back to massacring these poor little bastard grunts, which I always feel so bad about. But whatever, they're in the way, they're an obstacle, and they're attacking me, obviously, so I gotta take them out, you know, but I still feel bad for them. The story of the grunts in the Halo lore is very interesting, and how they come to be and how they come to the service of the Covenant. If you have a chance to watch Halo, I think it's Halo Legends, which is kind of like an anthology series, you should definitely watch it. It's beautiful, the lore is really interesting, especially when you consider the origin of the Flood and the Forerunners. I think all of that is really cool. Definitely watch that if you haven't already seen it.
Friendlies in the air, Osiris. Focus fire on ground forces.
Kraken is going past us. All troops, stay back.
Kraken's on the move!
I mentioned in part 1 that I'm playing this on an Xbox Series X, and I don't know if this is upscaling the visuals or the performance. Again, I never played the original, but I have to say, look at everything that's going on in the background there. You have that big Leviathan thing going on. I forgot the name of it right now. I think they just mentioned it, but all of the ships in the area, that big thing in the background, and there is no stuttering, there's no slipping. This is running at 1080p and 60 FPS, which is really incredible. The performance here is just amazing, and everything, again, it's not in 4K, but my goodness, it looks beautiful. I can only imagine what this would look like if they did some kind of reimagining, or what is it they call it for Gears of War, the reload or something like that. If they were to properly remake this game, although I really don't think it needs it because it's so beautiful to look at, but if they remade this game to run at 4K, I mean, it would just look absolutely freaking stunning at this point. But I don't think it needs it, because it looks fine the way that it is. If you're playing this on an Xbox Series X, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Keep moving, Spartans. Covenant are bringing in reinforcements.
Under fire from the bridge!
Shield in the way. Take it down.
Shield's gotta have a weak spot.
Good job.
All clear. Get that shield down. I have a shot on the shield generator.
Pop that and the whole thing will go. The shield's self-repairing.
Shields down.
The Covenant abandoned their ground forces. Press the attack! Spartan, the enemy is retreating into the temple ground. That location is between Osiris and their destination.
Copy, Arbiter.
I think if you're a
Spartans,
Halo
keep the
fan,
pressure on.
you always kind of have a love-hate relationship with using the vehicles. While I think that they're cool, they don't have the best driving mechanisms. I know when I get into I think, is this a Banshee? I think no, it's not a Banshee. I can't remember what the hell the name of this thing is. But this one is the most controllable or user-friendly. I know driving the Warthog takes a little bit of getting used to, just because the controls are a little bit archaic. But again, whenever you have a chance to use a vehicle that you can manage and drive, it's pretty fun in terms of the combat. And again, you're going one toe-to-toe with some other vehicles, which is actually pretty cool in the game. One of the very unique things about the original Halo game is that you can do this FPS, but also it had a number of vehicles that you can use. And tactically, you can have somebody, you know, when you're doing like co-op or something like that, you can have somebody running the guns while you're driving the vehicles. Again, the controls take a little bit of getting used to. There's definitely a learning curve, but once you get it, it's like second nature.
To knock us out, regroup!
There's another shield in the way.
Let's find a way past.
Physics in this game is a little funky, right? So you basically have two types of grenades. You have the sticky ones, and then you have the ones that are just, you know, at the mercy of physics. So sometimes they can use, or you can use them to your advantage. If you're sticking them onto an enemy, they kind of run in terror, frantically trying to get it off them. Although they never are successful at getting the sticky ones off. The ones that are used are more physics-based. You can actually bounce them off walls if you want to get like the correct trajectory to hit an enemy, which is really cool. But sometimes they can bounce back and actually affect you, so you have to be very careful. One of the other things that to note about this game is that, and I'm very guilty of this, I often my Spartans get in my line of fire and I often mess them up. It's like fratricide going on there, and I actually down them not knowing, so you do have to revive them. So be very careful, because friendly fire is like a real thing in this game, so you just have to be mindful of you know, your surroundings, just situational awareness, because sometimes the AI, ironically, on your team is a little stupid and then directly runs into your line of fire, which is always a pain in the ass, but you know, it is what it is.
Coming up on an elite. Walking on the runway. Plasma grenade! I'm stuck! Plasma grenade!
Somebody stop that turret.
Can't hold out forever! Thanks, Spartan!
I'm telling you, this will never get old.
Jackal firing on me!
Okay, I know this was a little bit gratuitous, but I just had to make sure that this guy was dead, so...
Hostile wraith ahead.
Stop it!
Got no time to waste.
Taking cover!
By the way, this is really stupid on my part. You never take on a gun emplacement like that head on. The best tactic to use here is definitely to flank that position, but I was being stupid, and I quickly learned that that wasn't going to work. So I definitely had to realign my tactic here and see if I can flank that turret. So I had two major obstacles here, that turret and that freaking tank. Now that tank is the subject of like so much frustration. That thing was like game over so many times in this game because it has this like particle cannon that shoots, like it's basically a one-shot kill. So if you get hit by that particle cannon, that's it, it's done. Breaks through your armor and many times it just one-shots you. And of course there's the turret. Now thankfully I was able to flank this damn thing, but the minute that you try to get into this thing, that's it. It's like a death sentence. And there goes that particle cannon, or that particle weapon that they use. It has this kind of like trebuchet trajectory, so you can kind of pinpoint where it's going to land. But if you're caught and you're like slipping, you're definitely going to get hit. Fortunately, this game does have what they call, I think it's a railgun. So the tactic for this thing is just to bombard this thing or pound this thing with a railgun. It's very effective, especially against the drivers of that damn tank. But, I mean, again, you still have to be very careful. You can't be overconfident, because if that blue or purple particle beam hits you, you're done.
Wraith's dishing it. Bet it can't take it.
Push forward. That shield's in our way. Found a way behind the shield. Break up a wall. Right-hand side.
Nice work, Osiris. Move inside.
I'm heading into the temple. Regroup inside, Osiris. Dead end. Commander Palmer, you sure we're headed the right way?
Affirmative. That's the only way through. Maybe there's a hidden mechanism, a door lock.
Look around, Osiris. Found something. Up on the ledge.
How do we go up there?
No stairs. We should be able to climb. Look at the sides.
This has to be it. Something's happening.
It worked. Dr. Halsey's coordinates are just through that door.
Move, Osiris.
Soldiers!
Lock! Heads up! The Kraken's still in play!
I see it, Commander.
Arbiter to all wings. The Kraken retreats. Press your attack.
That doesn't look like a retreat.
Let's help Arbiter finish this.
Lock, grab a Phaeton and get airborne.
Arbiter, we are airborne in Forerunner Phaetons.
Excellent. Bring fire from the Covenant Spartans.
Spartans, I appreciate the bravery, but what's the plan? Kraken's 2L armor to knock down. Best bet's get inside, destroy the generator. Make it happen, folks.
I'm on board the Kraken.
It's kind of funny because initially I had thought that I had to take out all the turrets or all the surface targets in order to get into this Kraken thing, but it turns out as soon as you land, they tell you to go to the core. Apparently you have to keep going down levels and whatnot. It actually, they made a comment, it actually does get a little bit confusing because you have to keep going deeper and deeper into this core. It's basically the Star Wars Death Star syndrome. You basically fly into this superstructure, or in this case, walk it to this superstructure and then knock out the main reactor. Now this is filled with a bunch of grunts, those poor bastards. Always got the shit duties, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like I said, they were an obstacle, and I just had to eliminate them and get them out of the way as soon as possible so that I can finish this mission.
Keep going down. Generator should be just below the hangar. Confusing. Keep going down for the pulse generator.
I found the generator.
Hit her with a few rounds, then get the hell out of there.
Directed on the pulse generator. Generator offline.
Get the hell out of there. Kraken's going down.
Okay, admittedly this was really stupid on my part. I wasn't exactly sure what I was supposed to do here, and I actually got in the Banshee and started flying out of the combat area. I didn't realize that you had to like meet at a rally point, so I just kept going off screen thinking that this Kraken thing was gonna blow up, but it turns out very similar to like the battlefield. If you leave the battlefield area, you'll eventually die. This is what happened here. It was really stupid, and I actually had to do this all over again, blow up that main reactor bubble ball thing, and then get into a Banshee and then hit a rally point. So, like I said, sometimes you're not really paying attention, and they were kind of like freaking me out that I had to get out of this thing, so I thought it was going to blow, and then, you know, that was the end result. But eventually, whatever, it just immediately started me from that last point, and I just got the hell out of there and met at this rally point.
Kraken's down. Time to grab that constructor. Halsey's coordinates are inside that Forerunner site. Constructor should be right inside the Forerunner site. Door's opening.
All right. Where's this constructor we're after?
Search the area. Something woke up.
It's a map of this region. See, that's the Guardian there. Not sure what it's connected to, though.
Yeah, real pretty light show. Where's the constructor?
Constructors repair things, right?
It's really
So
funny
let's break
because I
something.
think one of the criticisms of Halo 4 was People didn't really like the Guardians. I think they had a problem with the Forerunner race or whatever as enemies. I actually thought they were pretty fascinating, and I like their technology. I certainly like their weaponry, and they have a cool design to them. They're a real bit tricky because they have the ability to like teleport, and sometimes, especially if you're not paying attention, they can really flank you in the way that they teleport, because they do it very quickly. So you have to be on your toes with these things. Also, they have this armor set that basically has like a weak point. So unless you're hitting them in like this lit up area, you're basically not going to be able to take them out. So they're incredibly tough because for all intents and purposes, they're kind of luminous beings underneath an armor set. So that makes them especially difficult to kind of like take out. If you have like a heavy or heavy weaponry, you're going to want to use or focus on that, and especially if they have like that Gatling laser gun, definitely take that to take them out. It's the best way.
Systems down!
It's okay, Locke.
I'm up. Thanks.
Okay, admittedly this was my fault because she was taking on that freaking guy, and in the process of trying to take him out, I actually messed her up, so definitely had to revive her. Again, the AI can be a little bit stupid sometimes, even though she was legitimately taking on that soldier, so whatever, it was just my fault. In my desperation to take him out, I actually ended up locking up her armor. But it's cool, it works both ways, because once you get your armor locked up, they can revive you as well. So this is very co-op-ish-y, it's very squad-based, and I haven't really shown that here too much, but you can tell your Spartans to do certain things, to take certain positions, or to attack enemies directly.
Commander Palmer, we have the constructor. Ready for extraction.
Nice work, Spartans. Arbiter, ready for pickup.
I am sending a ship your way, Spartans.
Now, I'm going to be the first to admit that not all these levels are super duper awesome. Some of them are fetch quests or bug hunts, and basically go retrieve this, get that, get this little thing, and then take it back to wherever it is that you need to go, which, you know, it's the nature of this game. The architecture is really cool in these canyons, though. You can see that there's a statue of an arbiter that looks very Greco-Roman, which I think is really cool. I always appreciate those things. I have a passion for architecture, and just those little details that they include in these level designs I actually find pretty fascinating. I think what we're doing, or we retrieve this, I don't know, fixer thing for Halsey, because she's going to use it in some kind of future mission or something like that. It was really funny because something that I noticed about Halsey, I can't remember when this actually happened, but I'll get back to that in a moment. I do like Sarah Palmer's Spartan armor. I think it's really cool. It's one of the more unique ones, and as far as I know, and I remember seeing this from the Halo Legends. There was only one other female Spartan. I could be wrong about that, and I'm sure if you guys know this, you're probably gonna blow up the comment section and tell me, actually there was another one. But as far as I know, Sarah Palmer is the only real companion at this point that was in an actual game that was a female Spartan. I really wish they would make a 1/6 scale figure of her. That would be really cool, but unfortunately not. Anyways, getting back to Halsey, it was really weird to me because I can't remember when exactly she lost her arm. I think it was probably in Halo 4. It's been a while, guys. It's like 11 years, right? I'm 11 years removed from playing a Halo game. But it was weird to me, and I don't know if she just wanted to keep it this way, but in the 24th century, wherever the hell we are in time, that she would not have some kind of bionic prosthetic to, you know, help her or to replace the arm that she lost. It just seems rather weird, especially since she is a scientist and she created the Spartans, she created the Spartan program, but it seems weird that she wouldn't some kind of fashion some kind of prosthetic for this.
Today the Covenant will fall.
This is really cool. It's just Keith David's voice as the Arbiter giving a speech for a battle that's about to happen, which is always a really cool thing. Now, this is what I was talking about. Halsey is really preoccupied with Cortana. I think she realizes how powerful Cortana is as an AI. And she's like, listen, do whatever you gotta do with Cortana, but she has a strong bond like Cortana with Spartan 117, so she's like, look, whatever you do, just bring this guy back. You know what I mean? I don't want to sacrifice him. You know, I didn't realize at the time, and it may have been something that was a point of controversy for Halo fans, but it's pretty ballsy that 11 years ago that they made the main focus of Guardians as this new squad, which included Locke, which I thought was pretty cool. Nathan Fillion is just awesome in everything, and I actually like the dynamic of this team. It's not caricatures of other Spartans. You actually feel that they are real Spartans, that they're real people. They have their own motivations and their own lives and their own backstory, which I think was really cool. And this is emblematic, or example of that bond that they have between, I think it's Blue Team or something like that. So we're currently going to go take on this Covenant stronghold, which this was actually one of the coolest battles that I encountered in this particular level. It actually, and I've talked about this, how much I really loved ODST, because it is a different take on the Halo games. And for me, it felt like survival horror, and I've talked about this before, simply because of how dark it was, how desolated and scary New Mombasa was after the Covenant had arrived, and I think that was really cool. This level actually reminds me of that.
Clear landing zone. Force and Helios!
There's the first of the air defenses.
Locke's combat rifle is really one of my favorites. I love the sights on this. I love the way that it looks. It is very Alien-esque. It actually reminds me of an M1A1 from Aliens, the pulse rifle. It's such a shame that this thing only has like a 3-round burst. I wish that was like fully automatic, because I would always use this rifle. It is so kick-ass. Unfortunately though, it has this 3-round burst, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's very powerful compared to oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. This is very powerful compared to Master Chief's rifle, but this one just looks really cool. It has that nice counter, that yellow counter on there, and then the sights on there, the optics looks really cool. Again, it reminds me of something from Aliens. It's really cool. It's just a shame that it doesn't have a rapid fire function or like a fully automatic, which is just like kind of like it's such a pain in the ass. I'm like, please make this goddamn thing like fully automatic.
Hostiles coming through the door.
Lift the friendly fire!
Taking fire from that doorway.
Hit one.
How do we know if Dr. Halsey's plan worked and the constructor did its job?
Guardian will start moving. Just need to be close enough to jump on board when it does.
Swords of St. Helios. All ships report in. Havoc on station. Onslaught on station. Revolution on station. All ships. Focus fire on Covenant air forces. Send them crashing to a watery grave.
The Arbiter's fleet is arriving. Bring down the air defenses so they stand a chance.
Eyes on anti-air emplacement.
Shut it down. Give the swords of St. Helios some airspace.
I really like the look and the atmosphere and the mood of this level, although the actual objective is not as exciting. It's basically just trying to take out these turrets that are bullet sponges, and oftentimes I had to keep running back to the ammo caches because I kept running out of ammo, because these things take forever to take out. I mean, basically you're just clearing the way for whatever air wing that's coming in from the Arbiter and making sure that the air defenses are taken out. But of course, along the way, you're just knocking the crap out of these poor grunts. Which, look, I'm not gonna lie, it's satisfying to do as much as I don't like to hurt them. But that's essentially what this was. This is just taking out gun emplacements so that whatever Air Force can come in from the Arbiter. But again, it's still, I mean, in terms of the color palette, the textures of, I mean, just the way that the blacks, you know, offset against the shadows and stuff like that, and the lighting is just really cool. It has this like really neon feel. It reminds me a lot of like Blade Runner or City and Blade Runner or something like that, or even Mass Effect, which looked really cool. I think there's like 4 of these that you have to take out. But again, they're bullet sponges, and along the way you're just taking out soldiers that are trying to guard against you, taking out these turret emplacements. So not as exciting as I would want it to be, but this is just a really cool level. This poor bastard, I wasn't even aiming for him, he just stepped in my line of fire, and I blasted his freaking head. I felt so bad for him.
Covenant insertion pod.
One of the things that I have to say that's a really positive thing about this game is that I went back and I played some of the earlier Call of Duty games on a PS3, and it just, I mean, playing modern Call of Duty and then going back and playing the ones on the PS3 is a bit of a, like, there's a learning curve there. I mean, you have to retrain your mind. What I think is so fascinating about this Halo game is how modern, even back in 2015, how modern the gunplay is here. It doesn't, in other words, things like, they were very innovative about aiming down the sights, so they didn't make it very Call of Duty-esque. They did a combination of the two of them, and then it makes you, you know, coming back from an 11-year-old game, come back into this, and you basically get into the groove very quickly. So I think what they did in terms of modernizing this somewhat to not be controversial for traditional Halo players, and at the same time having those, I think what they call them is, you know, improvement of life, or life improvement, whatever. I can't remember what the term is now. But to have those kind of like modern gunplay, they did a really good job here, because this does not feel in any way like this is an 11-year-old game. I don't just mean that graphically, but in terms of the gameplay, especially the gunplay. I was right at home with this, and I had actually done a match for Battlefield a couple of hours earlier before I started on this map, and it didn't feel awkward. It didn't feel like I was playing a game that was you know, alien to me. So I think that's a testament to the designers and how they purposely did certain things in terms of the mechanics when it as it relates to the gunplay, to not make it awkward and not to alienate traditional. And holy shit, I forgot how hard I hit this grunt. I made him go flying across the map. Sorry, I had to interrupt myself because god dog it, I really kicked the crap out of that grunt. I still haven't learned my own goddamn lesson about these turrets. Basically, you become a target for every goddamn thing that's shooting, or anything that has a weapon. I also have to say, look at the particle effects here in this level. They're pretty amazing. There's just so much going on. Look at the streaks, look at the particles, look at all the rapid fire. There's a lot going on here, and again, no stuttering, no slowdowns, no screen tearing, none of that stuff. It's really weird. I mean, look, I literally played Assassin's Creed Mirage, and things are not going as quickly in that game as it is here in terms of the particle effects, the enemies, the AI, all that stuff. And there was screen tearing, and I haven't seen a single screen tear in this game, and I haven't seen a single slowdown. So I mean, that, Jesus Christ, that is baffling to me. Well, maybe not really. I just think that there was a lot more care put into this game. And again, it's an indictment of the industry right now. I'm not saying AC Mirage is a bad game. I'm just saying, look at the quality that they produce. This game is 11 years old, and I sound like a broken record, but it still looks like a recently released AAA title. And of course, I got my ass kicked here, and they had to unlock my armor. But I think you guys get the point here that I'm trying to make about the quality of those games, and again, how much they've aged like fine wine. Hey, goddamn, this poor bastard, I did it again. I freaking launched that freaking grunt across the screen. You know, it's so, like, sadistic at this point, because I hate hurting them, but I gotta admit, it's freaking satisfying when you clock one of them.
Second cannon down. Only one left. New target, Osiris.
Where's the power source for this last cannon?
That building, top floor. Last power source is behind that shield. How do we get in there? Last cannon destroyed!
Good work, Spartans. Arbiter, cannons offline on our position.
My troops will arrive and secure your position. Move on towards the Guardian. You must reach the Master Chief in time.
Copy that, Arbiter. Osiris, secure this area so the Arbiter's people can land.
Solid kill, Lock.
Still too many enemies. Clear the LZ, Osiris.
Friendly phantoms approaching.
Spartan Lock, come in.
Marquis, hello again.
Air defenses still protect the skies between you and the Guardian. Too many for me to ferry you to your destination. You need another path. At your location, there is passage to Sanayon's Undercity, which will allow direct access to the Guardian.
Thank you, Marquis.
This son of a bitch scared the piss out of me. He came out of nowhere. He was cloaked and he knocked the hell out of me. And I actually locked up my armor, but I didn't realize that he was actually an enemy for some reason, because, you know, obviously I thought that the actual Arbiter forces had already landed. I wasn't really paying attention and really knocked the shit out of me. You know, those ones that are cloaked are really tricky bastards.
I hear worry. You should rejoice.
There's an elevator to the Undercity.
Okay guys, so that's going to be it for this episode of Halo 5 Guardians. Really am impressed with this game. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely love the atmosphere of this level. Gives me those new Mombasa basically vibes. I would really love to see a remake of ODST because it was one of my favorite ones from the entire series, and also Halo Reach. I know that it may be included in the Master Chief Collection, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm definitely going to get that. So that's another version of Halo that I'm going to get, but I would like to see a dedicated, really upgraded version of Halo Reach, because that was one of my favorite ones. Definitely the most gut-wrenching for me, especially the end if you played that game. But this is Halo 5 Guardians Part 2. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next Raul Plays. Have a nice one, everybody.